My name is Jensen, and today we will learn some UiPath, and not the usual UiPath. We will see a very cool Salesforce integration. It was actually a channel I came across by, I don't know, coincidence, and I started watching some videos. It was from a guy called Cristian Negulescu, and I just clicked in on his channel and I watched one video, I watched another one, and then I figured that this guy is so cool. So what I did was I wrote him. I saw his LinkedIn link in his YouTube channel, and I wrote him. And you won't believe it, but I have him here right now. Hello, Christian.
Hello, Andres.
First of all, I don't know if you heard what I said, but I must say that you got some really cool videos on your channel.
I heard everything.
Ah, okay.
Thank you very
So,
much.
so how come that you can make all these great videos? What's your background?
So my background is this one. I work on UiPath. So I'm still on UiPath for 3 years and 10 months. I was from the beginning when UiPath was a simple startup in Romania. I was number 39. And I see the evolution of this company from zero, basically, to a big company that we have now, $7 billion value of the company. So it was from the beginning of RPA, and I understand what is the idea with RPA. In the beginning on UiPath, I did a presentation, and I have been on around 800 presentations around the world with big customers like Exxon, Chevron, and all the big names that UiPath has on this portfolio. And I worked for 1 year in Japan. In Japan, it's a country that is working a lot. The IT is working a lot on Salesforce, yeah, and they are 42% of the CRM system from Japan are Salesforce, which is huge. So I was introduced to a lot of heads of Salesforce from there, and we did a lot of demonstration for them, and we understand that we have a lot of potential to work with Salesforce. Based on this requirement from Japan, and based on how the UI automation, the normal automation, is working with Salesforce, I take the decision to try to make an integration with Salesforce. And guess what? Salesforce, it's a very powerful software for integration because Salesforce gained the market on SAP because of this stuff. So they are very, very open to the integration. And I have the experience to work around 10 softwares that I did integration with around 10 softwares, and by far Salesforce is the best on the integration part, on the REST API, on the SOAP API. It's very well documented. I think they have 10 or 20 protocols of integration. They are on the version 48 or 49. So it was unbelievable to see how flexible it's this Salesforce integration. And I understand that I'm able to develop a very nice connector for Salesforce. What means a connector for Salesforce? So you know UiPath, how it's working. UiPath is working as a screen scraping, yeah?
Mm-hmm.
But connectors for Salesforce means you'll do some activities that are working on the REST API. So basically you have a background connector and everything is working on the background. It's a background automation, and I build around 125 activities for the Salesforce to be able to create a very fast automation, a background automation with Salesforce instead of foreground automation on Salesforce with the normal use of RPA. So from here I start all this adventure.
And you say that you're using some REST API calls and stuff like that. Why is that a better solution than just clicking in the UI? Can you elaborate a bit about that?
So the idea is like this. You know, Salesforce interface, it's a web page, very nice, uh, very well done as an interface. But you know how UiPath is working. UiPath is working with screen scraping and selectors.
Yeah.
So you know UI Explorer, and with the UI Explorer, you will go and check an element, and you'll see I want to do something on this element. And here you will see on the UI Explorer, you have a full list with all the details. But there is a trick. Salesforce interface is changing dynamically. So you will see here you need to select on the UI Explorer, you need to select some values that are that you consider that are fixed, that will not change, and you need to dig a lot to get these values. But the idea is like this: Salesforce interface, it's changing a lot of stuff dynamically. If you change the user, these IDs will change. If you change something on the layout, this ID will change. So it's very hard to do a perfect UI automation on the Salesforce interface. Yeah. And it's very risky if you do an image automation. So you know UiPath is a very powerful tool that allows you to make also an image automation.
Okay.
So because there is a huge request, like I said on the Japan, 42% of the CRMs are Salesforce. It's a huge request there. I see that it's a lot of issues on putting a process on production, because UiPath, you know, it's a very good tool to make a happy path. But when you do a production system, that means you need to do a lot of tests on the particular case to arrive on production, and it's very hard via UI. Now, this is the first stuff. The second idea is, let's say that you want to create an account. If you want to create an account, here on the UI interface, you will do around 50 action, 50, 65 action to do. You click here, you select from combo box, you click here, you select from combo box, you click save and so on. So there are a lot of interaction between you and the web page. Yeah, even the robot is very fast. If one interaction will break, you have 45 to 65 time of interaction. When you do a REST API, everything is on the background. Doesn't matter what type of web page you use. If you use Google Chrome or Internet Explorer and so on, and you will do for adding account, you will do only one command. So instead of 65 commands, you will have one command. So the probability for something to crash or to have an error, it's very, very small. So I do this stuff via REST API to have a very fast implementation and a very fast robot to work. Yeah. So it's important for the software that are very open to the integration to have also an alternative, to have activities dedicated for the software instead of using screen scraping. Yeah.
Yep.
So that was the idea.
So now, Cristian, I have to interrupt you because I have good and bad news. The good news is that we have all the sound with you, and we have all the latest where you showed me this in Salesforce. But in the beginning, you were presenting how we could get your automated connector, right? And you show us that. But while you showed us that, I was scrolling around on your channel because I couldn't see you shared your desktop. So you might want to show us that again. If I want to get these connectors that you build, how can I get them?
Yeah, so to be able to get the connectors that I build, you see here on the channel on the YouTube that you have all the videos, and starting on all the videos, I have the procedure how you get the connectors. So first, you will go to UiPath Marketplace. In the past, it was called UiPath Go. But now it's on the UiPath Connect. You will go to Marketplace, and here you have a list of connectors. And for example, you write Salesforce, yeah?
Yep.
And on the Salesforce, you will see that there are multiple options. My connector is this one, Salesforce Extended Package Activities, yeah? So this is, you have here the details, you have media, you have questions. A lot of people put questions, and I answer to this stuff and so on, yeah?
Okay.
But the easiest way, so here you have all the details and what you find. That the easiest way to install it on UiPath, you will do like this. You will create a UiPath. When you create a project, you will go to Manage Package. Yeah? On the Manage Package, be sure you will go to All Packages and be sure that you have this Go. Go, it's a link that is going to the, so basically all the components that are on the marketplace that in the past was called UiPath Go are here connected on the Manage Package. So be sure that you have this this Go link. If you don't have it, I can show exactly what is the link. So if you go here on the local go, it's something with the gallery. I will show you. I will give you the exactly
Cool.
the link. Don't worry.
Cool.
So when you go here, you will go and write Salesforce, yeah, and you will find my package. So UiPath Team Salesforce Activity Package, and you hit install. After you hit install, you will see here under UiPath Team, because I'm part of the UiPath team. Like I said, I work on UiPath.
Yeah.
So under UiPath team, you will find Salesforce extended package, and here you will find 125 activities that allow you to work.
Did you build out? Did you build all that?
Yes, I build all that. So all the stuff that you see, it's with Salesforce, ServiceNow, and all these activities. I think I have in total 500 activities at least.
Wow, Christian, that's so awesome, and you've been so kind to show us. We cannot show like 100 over 100 activities, but you will show some of the key features today.
Yeah. So let's see some stuff.
Yeah.
So what's the idea? To be able to connect to Salesforce, you will connect like you connect to the Excel applications, Excel, yeah?
Yeah.
So when you connect to Excel, you have an Excel application scope. When you connect to a Salesforce or other software that other connector that I create, you have again a Salesforce application scope or a ServiceNow application scope and so on. So on this scope, you will set this connection. So let me delete some stuff that I have here. So on the scope, you will set the connection. And on this one, good?
Yep.
On this scope, you have here the connectors. To be able to connect via REST API, in case of Salesforce, you will need the username, the password, the security token, the consumer key, consumer secret. To be able to configure this, I have a full video on my on my YouTube page. You'll go to playlist, you'll go to Salesforce, and this on the Salesforce, you will search for a configuration, yeah.
Yep.
So there is a video with configuration where there you have all the steps how to configure the REST API.
So
because you need.
So if I want to get going, I can just go to this playlist, Salesforce UiPath Robots Total, and then get started.
Yeah. So take a look on the videos, and first you need to take a look on the configuration video. On the configuration video, you see all the steps that you need to do on Salesforce to be able to get the values that you need. And the values that you need, like I said, it's username, password, security token. This is with the discussion. I have a discussion. There are some systems that are not mandatory, the security token, and consumer key and consumer secret. Because it's an O2 authentication, you will need the consumer key and consumer secret.
Okay. How IT educated do you have to be to set this up? Is it difficult, or could I just follow your tutorial and then?
No. It's a 3 minutes, 4 minutes tutorial, and the IT will be able to do this. I mean, you will set this request to your admin, not the end user who will do this. No. Yeah.
Of course.
You will go to the admin and say, look, I need a special account because I want to develop something for my robot in the background with Salesforce. The guys from the IT, they will provide you an account on the sandbox, yeah?
Yeah.
So everything will be done on the sandbox, because the idea with this connector is to be able to work from UiPath Studio, to have a dynamically interface, yeah?
Yep.
So you will develop everything on the sandbox, and then you will switch to production. That's a different discussion, how to switch to production, because you see here I have all the values on raw. So I have direct strings, yeah? When you switch to production, you work with the orchestrator, you will work with secure string, you will work with a lot of complex stuff, yeah? And all the wizards that I will show you on the presentation today will work only on the design and test type, yeah?
Yep.
When you go to production, you just run the robot and you have a full level of security. If your IT has concern about security, so, or your manager of the project has concern about security, there is a video here where I explain all the security, yeah? In two words, the idea is like this. all the security is controlled by Salesforce, because when your administrator create your account, he will set the roles and the limitation that you are able to do via REST API based on what he set up on Salesforce. Yeah.
Cool. Yep.
So here it's a video about security and discussion about security on the Salesforce connector.
Cool. So it's reasonable to set up, and it's quite easy if we follow your guides.
It's you have also here on the you can download the manual. Yeah. So it's something somewhere here. I'm not, but I'm not so well done with the new website. But you have a manual on community support. Or I remember that on the old website we have a manual with all the details.
Cristian, if I want to use this component, how much does it cost?
It's free. So all the components that you see are free. Oh. So all the things that you find on the marketplace, take a look here. You have so if you write Salesforce, for example, you have here all the stuff from our marketplace is free. You will see that there are some stuff on the market, but not the stuff that I made, because, like I said, I'm part of UiPath.
Yeah.
So I'm part of UiPath, and it's my interest for to do everything free, and the UiPath clients to be able for the UiPath clients to create automation much faster and be able to run more robots. That's the idea. Yeah.
And you are a trusted source. I can see that you're verified in some way.
Yeah, because all my code, it's written by me on the UiPath. The only difference, because it's a difference, and you have to understand, you will see there is also a connector for made by UiPath. So I made this connector 1.5 years, yeah, and UiPath did an official connector on August last year, yeah.
Yeah.
What's the difference? So, when a company produces something, they have to do some steps. I mean, they have to make some tests, they have to do documentation, and they have on the web page. It's a lot of big banks and so on. They say, okay, I want something to be proved by UiPath, yeah?
Yeah.
So the idea is like all the stuff that I did, it's part of UiPath, but they are not officially supported by UiPath. There are 2 or 3 components created by official UiPath and supported by UiPath. What is the idea? So in my case of my components, you'll have my support, yeah? So when something is, you need something, you will contact me on the UiPath Go, and you'll have my direct support. Yeah?
Cool.
In case of UiPath components, you can contact direct support at uipath.com.
Cool, Cristian.
That's the difference. But to understand, so normally you would say that, okay, but if I have an official UiPath component, I will work with the official UiPath component. It's not like this, because I saw it from the real customer. The real customers like to work with components like mine, because think about real customers come to me with a lot of requests. Particular cases. I have a lot of particular cases. You can see here the component has around 10,000 downloads. Yeah.
Yeah.
So a lot of people download the component, and so the customers come to me with particular cases, and I can implement this on 2-3 days, and I give them the component and give them all the updates and so on. And customers are very happy with this approach. If you'll go to with a request to the product team, will take 1 month, 2 months to be able to do this, because they have to put it on the queue, they have to make some procedures, they have to be approved, and so on and so on. Yeah.
Yeah.
So there is not an issue with this. I have different clients from Australia and from other places in the world where I was on the meetings with them and say, no, Cristian, we use your components because there is no issue with us. We know that it's a community stuff. We know that a lot of people participate with request to your components, and I want a component that I will be able to modify in 2-3 days if I come with a request to you.
Cool.
So I don't have any problem with safety and so on this one. Yeah. And you see on the number of downloads, a lot of people use the components, so there is no issue. It's your decision.
Cool. So, Christian, let's see your connector in action, and let's see some of the key activities or whatever you find
Yeah.
useful for us.
So here I have my Salesforce instance. Yeah.
Yep.
It's a Salesforce instance. So to be able to start, the idea is like this. You have here a video. Wait a minute. On my YouTube, there is a video which starting from zero, because you will see, you can say that you will have some issues until you get your Salesforce instance to work and so on. So you have here a video that is called how to start the Salesforce automation from zero. And on this video of 6 minutes, I will show you exactly how you go on the Salesforce website and create your development instance, because you can create your development instance on the Salesforce website for free. So you can create your instance and start testing the connector without any problem.
Nice.
When you have knowledge and you understand how everything is working, you talk with your admin to give you access to the sandbox, and you create your own automation and then move it to production. Yeah.
Yep.
It's very easy to have a start looking on this video how to start from zero. Yeah.
Cool.
So I have here an instance that is created on salesforce.com, and I have here the connector. On the connector, I drag and drop the application scope, the Salesforce application scope, and here I have all the configuration. The configuration is on authentication and design, yeah? And I say design and test. When I switch it to production, he will take all the values from here on the production. Yep. That has protection value, protection with secure string and so on. So we will work only on the design test, yeah? I put all the values here and I say test connection. So from the UiPath Studio, the system is connecting to the Salesforce, and I see that I have a valid connection, yeah?
Cool.
Based on this, all the majority of the activities have wizards, yeah? So for example, if I want to add an account, I will drag and drop another account inside of the connector, and I will say configure parameters. So I have to provide some parameters, but I don't know what are the parameters. So the system, it's able to ask the server, what are the parameters? What's the idea with asking of the server? You know, when you go to the Salesforce an account, you will go here, you say new, and you see that you have something with red. You see the account name is with red, so it's mandatory. Without the account name, you are not able to create an account, yeah?
Yep.
The same thing is done also by the UiPath Studio. So UiPath Studio, it's asking the server, what are the mandatory parameters? It's 85%, 95% accuracy. Is not perfect, yeah? But the system has a logic to ask for the parameters. Also, you can get an example. You say, give me an example with parameters. And I say, account name, test video, yeah?
Mm-hmm.
Let's put this from a city, yeah? City, what city we have? Tokyo. Okay, what else we need to put on the account? We see here what we need to put. Let's put the phone, yeah? Phone. And will be, I have also an example there with the phones, how to be. I will put it like this. Let's see other stuff. What we want to put. I think industry, yeah?
Yep.
But here it's a big list and I need to know. I think retail. And we can run the command from here, yeah? So from the design time, we can run the command. And you see we have success with this command. So if we go to the accounts on Salesforce and we hit refresh.
We should have created one?
We should create one, yeah?
Oh, yeah?
Test video, you see?
Yeah.
Created by Cristian Negulescu. And that's another advantage. The component allow you to work from the design time, yeah? And in this way, you are able to gain a lot of time on the implementation, yeah?
Yeah, you can test it from there.
Now, I just do a test, and I don't want this test. So I say revert command, and he delete the account, yeah?
Yeah.
Because it was just a test. I don't want to keep it there. But let's make a mistake. Let's put here a parameter that is blah, blah. A very no blah, blah parameter. And we say test fake. Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's run the command. And you see here that he say that column blah, blah, blah is not part of the object account. So you have to understand how this is working. When you are on the web page, you put something on the web page and you hit submit button. When you hit submit button, the system go to validation rules. If all the validation rules are passed, then the system put the values on the database. With the REST API, it's the same. So I have here the command, the parameters. I hit run. These go to the validation rules. So if the validation rules are passed, this is going to the database. If the validation rules are broken, the system will return me an error. Yeah. So you have to understand that all the commands that you see from here are sent to the validation rules. So there are no crude commands that will go to the database. Yeah. So everything it's on the same level of safety like the web page. Okay.
Cool.
Good. So you see how you create an account from the design time. Yeah.
Yep.
If we save it and so on, I don't save it. If you say okay, he will keep all the data, and when you run it on the runtime, will run this one. Okay. So you can create account, user, task, products, all the stuff. Now, Salesforce is a complex system. And on the Salesforce, you are able to work with custom objects. So every administrator of Salesforce can create different custom objects there. And the system is able to create also different fields for each object. Yeah. So you have here a list with all the objects. So the system is reading all my custom objects from my instance, and I'm able to select here. Yeah. So I can go and select, for example, let's say quotation, yeah, or Q, code, quick test, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So if I go here and configure parameters, I don't have any data here, but for each custom object, I have values, yeah. So I have the possibility to run the command and so on, and I have here a list of all the custom objects from my instance, yeah. So you are able to add, delete, update directly on the custom objects. Okay?
Yep.
Good. So this is with adding data. But the one important stuff with Salesforce is getting data. Yeah. So let's see how we get the accounts. We have here an instance. So Salesforce is based on SOQL. Yeah. So it's a very powerful. It's more powerful than SQL. It's a SQL on objects. So here for each activity, you have some default stuff. To be fair, it was default from my old instance, and I think I don't have some data here. Let's make an. I don't have billings on Japan. Yeah, so I don't have billings on Japan. So let's try it without where. Yeah, and let's remove some. Let's let the description and like this. Yeah.
Yep.
Don't want to save, I just want to run. And this is my data, yeah? So I see directly the data. So as an RPA developer, I see what is the result on my screen. And this is very important. And take a look something here. I don't know what values I have to put there. So I go to the information tab. And on the information tab, I want to put the street, yeah? So I double click and he completes for me the street, yeah? What else I want to put? The industry. Double click and he put the industry for me. So it's very easy. You as an RPA developer, the time that it's used for the implementation will cut huge, because on the implementation, 75% of the time it's testing, yeah, and development.
Yeah.
And that time should be cut a lot of the time should be cut, because that's important.
How do you get this data out? Is that to a data table or?
How I get this data from Salesforce?
No. How do you? So we want to work with this data. We will output it to a data table, or?
Yeah, exactly. You hit save, and this is returning a data table. Let's create it. So let's create here a DT. The system will have a DT, and now let's run it to Excel. Yeah.
Yep.
So to see how fast so we'll put an Excel application scope. Let's create a file on I have here a folder, R Okay. Let's see if I have a file. No, I don't have a file. I can put it here on this one, and we'll create. Let's see that right range. We'll see video. Let's hope that will create that sheet, and we'll put the data table. Yeah. And now if we run it, let's hope that the system will run the data there.
How fast is it? Oh, it's quite fast.
Yep.
It looks like it ran.
The range doesn't exist. Probably you need to create the range on that. But you see the
yeah.
Probably we need to create on that Excel. We need to create the it was this one. I don't know if UiPath is creating. It's able to create the
the new sheet.
So yeah. Video. Let's put it like this. Test. Okay. Save. It's a read-only.
Okay.
Okay, let's create a new one to don't save, but to see the. I'm not allowed to create it here. On air. New Excel. Test video. Okay, and here we'll put video. Yeah.
Yep.
Video. Okay, save, and we'll put it on this test video. Done. Here, let's go to my C. Air, not pictures. Air, test video. Yeah. Okay, and that was video. And here we'll put. Let's add also the headers. So the system go in the back, connect via REST API to the Salesforce, extract the data of all the accounts, and then write it on this Excel. Done. Voila.
And that was fast.
Yeah, it's very fast because everything is on the background. It's a REST API, and you see I have a table with all the details.
And that was what you told us. Like, if we have to make the robot work in the UI, it will probably take forever, or not forever, but it would have taken like a lot more time.
So this is really fast, yeah?
Is there any limitations? Like, so if I make these calls?
Let me tell you the story with the limitation. So, my friends from Japan, they work with huge amount of data. So, if I do it like I do it now here, the limitation is you'll get 2,000 items, yeah?
Yeah.
So you'll get only 2,000 items. But my colleagues from Japan, like I said, they work with huge amount of data. So for them, I implement here inside of the Salesforce activity. Let's delete this one. And inside of the Salesforce activity, you have big data. And on this big data, you can work with a huge amount of data. I can tell you that I extract with one command, I extract 1 million rows. Cool. So what's happened on this command that are working with big data? This is another protocol. So the system is working on the REST API. But for big data, Salesforce has a protocol that is called bulk API. So the idea is like this. You send a command to the server. The server will do the command on local there on the server. And the system will inform you when the command is ready, and this will get all the data back to you. Yeah?
Cool.
So in this way, using the get big data, you can get around 1 million rows without any problem. So what you'll do, the normal commands have this wizard, yeah, where you put the SQL and everything, yeah, where you are able to write everything. For the get big data, this is working only on the design, on the runtime as a robot. So what you'll do, you will take the command from here, the SQL command from here. You say Control C, Control V, and you'll put the command here on SQL command, yeah. And this command will run here without any limitation. Like I said, you can receive 1 million data.
Cool.
And here, when you get the data, you can say, I want a data table, I want a file, or I want a data table and a file. Yeah.
Yep. That's cool.
Again, if you want to add big data, for example, if you want to add 10,000 items in one command. So with what I show you with add command, it was only one item per command, yeah, one insert per command. But if you want to add 10,000 in one command, again, you use this add big data. There is a video on my YouTube with all the details, how to work with big data, how to work with this stuff, and so on.
Cool. Christian, I will definitely go and look in some of the videos and try to recreate some of your workflows after we talk to each other. And can you tell me, we are about to come to an end in this interview, but can you tell me if we have any questions for you or comments? Where can we find you? Maybe you can repeat that.
You can so you can find me on the YouTube. You can find me on LinkedIn, and you have questions for components. You can go on the marketplace and ask question directly for the component. Yeah.
Cool. I'll post a link to all three things in the description of this video, so we can find you.
Exactly. On the end of the video, I want to show you something very, very intelligent. Yeah.
Cool.
So you see these components, but you have to think about this stuff. When you work with the system, and that system offer you all the details, you will not need an RPA developer. Yeah?
No.
And let me show you what's the idea. So the system here provides a wizard. You see this wizard activity.
Mm-hmm.
You will drag and drop this wizard activity. And then you will tell to the system will ask you what you want to do, what you want to do with this activity. So you select an object from the Salesforce. In my case, I will select accounts. And then I will select what I want to do. I want to add, I want to update, or I want to add or update. Yeah?
Mm-hmm.
And I will select a file. The file represents the model of the data. So I have some data that is on a model. And my data is here. Document. This one. Video. Let's open also separately. Okay, so this is my data. And I will put it also here. Yeah? And I will say generate matching. And I will explain you what means this generate matching. So take a look here. This is my document, yeah?
Mm-hmm.
So I have a document that is like a model. Think it as a model. On this model, I have some data about some accounts. On this model, I have some fake columns, like blah, blah, la mișto. La mișto, it's a joke in Romanian, and so on, yeah? So the system will make a comparison between my document and the columns of my document and with what I have inside of my Salesforce. So the system is able to read the account and you see what fields you have on the account, and it will do an automatical matching between what I have on the Excel and what I have on Salesforce. And you can see the columns like la mișto and blah blah is not able to match. You are able to go and select yourself. You want to match it with this, or you are able to delete these columns, okay? After he's doing this matching, I will say create code. And what will do? The system will write exactly the code that an RPA developer will write. And he will write better than an RPA developer. Because the idea is like this. On Salesforce, if we go to Salesforce, when you add something, an account or something like this, let's create new, you will see that here you need to select some data from a combo box. So if you provide, instead of the data from here, another data that is not valid, the system can crash.
Yeah.
So the RPA developer, the RPA developer needs to make some function to be able to do a match. So this wizard, it's able to do matching. So this wizard, it's extracting from your Salesforce all the values. You see, here you need to put public, private, or subsidiary, yeah? Here on the parent ID, you need to put these values. So the system is able to extract all the values from there, and he will do a matching. He will do a fuzzy matching. Remember that I put here retail, yeah? So if I put here a value instead of finance, I will put fine, without E from the end. The system will be able to match that my value is matching with finance, and he will transmit finance value to the Salesforce. Yeah.
That's
So
cool,
all
Cristian.
these values are protected.
Yeah.
So the system it's able to write the code for you, and then on the end to test this, you just read the data from the file. After you read it from a file, you have a data table, and then just provide the data table here. Yeah.
That's awesome, Cristian.
And here you see that I have two data tables because I use the name, and I delete that one to be only the big one. And now I'll run it. And you will see on my accounts that I don't have an account from there that is first company and second company. Here you see that I have also logs. So the wizard create also a log for me, print result. And I see the valid response for the first one and the valid response for the second one. And if I refresh this one, I have my first corporation and second corporation. Yeah?
Yeah.
Which are added now with all the details from my Excel. So that's the power of the Salesforce component. We have also this wizard that allow you to do an automation very, very fast, and basically you don't need necessarily an RPA developer, or the RPA developer will be guide on how to use the system.
Yeah. Cristian, I must say that I'm really impressed with your work. I'm so happy that we would show it for us. And I mean, I could talk to you for hours, but we'll stop here, and then we might get, if you want to, we can get back to you, and you can show some cool stuff in a month or two.
Yes, we can talk also about ServiceNow and other software.
Cool, Cristian. Thank you again very much for taking your time and showing us this amazing connector.
My pleasure, my pleasure. Thanks very much for the invitation.
Have a good day, Cristian.
Have a good one. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.